Hello, welcome to this ninth video. In the previous lecture, we have learned about the basic concept and related terms. Today, we are going to see the conditional statement and converse. So, start with the conditional statement. See, conditional statements means what? The statements which can be written in if then form are called as a conditional statement. I repeat it. The conditional statements are the statement which can be written in if then form. Such statements are called as a conditional statement. There are two parts of the conditional statement. First one is a antecedent. See, antecedent means what? The part which is following if it's called as a antecedent. The part which is following if is called as a antecedent. And second one is the part which is following then is called as a consequent. Listen it. The part which is following then is called as a consequent. And if we interchange antecedent and consequent, if we interchange antecedent and consequent, it means that if we interchange if and then, we write if instead of then and then instead of if. The statement which are followed, the statement is called as a converse. We see all this term with the help of an example to make it clear. So our example is, see, in the example, the diagonals of the rhombus are perpendicular bisector to each other. We have to convert this statement into conditional statement. For that, first you identify the condition in the given statement. For that, see, in our given statement, we are given a rhombus, and you will notice that rhombus is a type of quadrilateral whose all sides are congruent with each other. Such a quadrilateral is called as a rhombus, and their diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. These are the properties of rhombus. Now we are going to convert this statement into a conditional one, and our answer is that if given quadrilateral is rhombus, then its diagonals are perpendicular to each other. In this, see, the part which is following if is called as a antecedent. See, here given quadrilateral is rhombus. This part is called as a antecedent, and the part which is following by then, its diagonals are perpendicular bisector to each other. This part is following by then, so this part is called as a consequent. And if we interchange these two parts, antecedent and consequent, then the given statement is called as a converse. Make it clear, practice this, student. Then our next point is postulate. See, first definition. See, postulate means what? The statements which are accepted by all are called as a postulate. I repeat it. The statements which are accepted by all are called as a postulate. For example, we see some Euclid postulate. In that, there are a infinite line passing through a point. Second one, all right angles are congruent with each other. See, these two statements are accepted by all. We know that the measurement of right angle is 90 degree and they are congruent with each other. This statement is true and it is accepted by all, so it is a postulate. Some other examples are a circle of a given radius can be drawn taking any point and its center. It is also postulate there is one and only one line passing through a 2 point. It is also another example of Euclid postulate. The next point is theorem. Theorem means what? The properties proved logically are called as a theorems. Some properties are proved logically. Such a properties are called as a theorems. See, there are two types of the proof. First one is a direct proof and another one is a indirect proof. We just take one example of theorem. In that, our example is, see, the opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are equal measure. It is our theorem. It means that we are going to prove this property. The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are equal measure. So what we do first? First we draw a diagram with the help of given information. So in our given statement we are given a intersecting line. So here we draw a two intersecting lines. Then we label it, and then with the help of the diagram we write the given things. With the help of this diagram we write the given thing. It means that we describe our diagram in the given statement. See here, we draw here line AB and line CD which are intersect in point O. So our given is line AB and line CD are intersect at point O such that A dash O dash B and C dash O dash D. Then what we are going to prove? The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines. So observe the diagram carefully and notice the opposite angles in the given diagram. See, in the given diagram, angle AOC and angle BOD. These are the opposite angle and these are equal in measure. We are going to prove this. Similarly, angle BOC is equal to angle AOD. It is our two proof. Then our proof is, if you observe diagram you will notice there are the pairs of linear pair angles. So identify with the help of the diagram. See, in the diagram angle AOC plus angle BOC, these are the linear pair angle, and you know that the sum of the linear pair angle is 180 degree. So we write angle AOC plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. It is our equation number first, and our reason is angle in linear pair. Similarly, angle BOC and angle BOD, these are also angles forming a linear pair. It is our equation number second. Reason is angle in linear pair. Now see equation number first and equation number second. Both sum of the two angles is equal to 180 degree. So we write it angle AOC plus angle BOC is equal to angle BOC plus angle BOD. These sums are also equal. Give reason from equation number first and equation number second. Now eliminate the same part. Angle BOC is get cancel. Then we get angle AOC is equal to angle BOD. Similarly, we can prove that angle BOC is equal to angle AOD. It means that here we prove the statement the opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are equal measures. It is our theorem. With the help of this point, just see some example in the practice set 1.1. In the practice set 1.1, first example is write the following statement in if then form. It means that we are given some statement and we have to convert it into a conditional statement. First one is the opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. Here we identify the parallelogram, and you know that parallelogram is a type of the quadrilateral. So our conditional statement is if quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then opposite angles of that parallelogram are congruent. It is our required answer. Second one is the diagonals of rectangle are congruent. So our conditional statement or answer is if quadrilateral is rectangle, then diagonals are congruent. The next example in the practice set 1.1 is write the converse of the following. In that, first one is the alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are congruent. We have to write the converse of this statement. It means that we interchange the antecedent and the consequent, then we get the converse of the given statement. It means that we have to change if and then. So our answer is the alternate angles made by two lines and its transversal are congruent, then the lines are parallel to each other. So student, try to solve the rest example in the practice set 1.1. Thank you.